What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Malcolm Tibbs. I spent 25 years getting inconsistent results in my love life, and now not only do I have a fulfilling relationship, I also have the ability to snap my fingers and have half a dozen dates lined up within a week. Now, it took me 25 years to get to the point where I decided to get serious about developing the skill of dating. And then after that, it was only about 6 months to actually get good enough to consistently get phone numbers and to be able to turn those phone numbers into dates and to be able to turn those dates into romantic relationships. All right. It didn't take me too much time to be able to actually get good at setting up a little routine. But those 25 years, the two things that were holding me back is going to be, one, a fear of rejection, and I have a lot of videos on this channel talking about that. But the second thing is going to be a lack of motivation, all right? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Before we get into the one thing that's holding back most men that I've worked with, and including my prior self, right? We're going to first define motivation, and we're going to do so operationally. So what we can see with our eyes, just to get rid of all the mysticism that comes with words, all right? What we see is that motivation is the opposite of abundance, okay? You feel the most motivated when you are deprived, all right? So if we are looking at somebody in a desert and they haven't had a drink of water in 2 days, they're going to be very motivated to go get some water, okay? If you haven't had a meal in 7 days, you're going to be very motivated to go out and find some food, whatever it may take, right? Even if that means going through the garbage, right? You're going to be motivated to satiate that desire, that internal like gnawing inside your stomach, right? The same thing is true when it comes to love and romance and intimacy. If you don't feel motivated to go talk to women and develop these romantic relationships and actually act on some of these opportunities that you see throughout the day where that girl looks at you and she smiles, and instead of talking to her, you just walk away, or you just, you finish up your order and you get away from her. Like, if you are finding that you don't act on those opportunities, you don't have a desire to talk to women, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just that you are supplementing your intimacy. All right. And 9 times out of 10, with all the men that I've worked with my prior self, that thing that you're replacing actual real sex and love with is going to be porn. And porn is devastating when it comes to developing the skill of dating. All right. And I really want to highlight, dating is a skill. It's something that you only have to learn once. And then it's like riding a bike. All right. It's not difficult to get a phone number once you know how to do it a handful of times. All right. But if you are finding that despite all the testosterone in your body, despite the fact that you do enjoy watching people have sex and you do masturbate and you obviously have a desire to have sex, if you still find that you don't go out of your way to make that happen, it's because you have been trained by porn to be a viewer, okay? And this is not the biggest deal in the world because you can absolutely train yourself to be a participant as well. But one thing that really made it click for me is, instead of behaving like a heterosexual male would, a man who desires women and goes out of his way to have sex with women, you are behaving like a pornosexual male. All right. You have been almost as if your sexuality is now attuned to watching porn. All right. I don't make a lot of videos on this topic, but that is 100% going to be something that stops you from feeling motivated. Okay. Now, on the very rare chance that you never watch porn and you never masturbate, right, and you still don't feel the desire to talk to women, you may need to go talk to a doctor. I would still recommend that you probably are just dealing with anxiety. And instead of admitting that, hey, I'm afraid to talk to girls, you say, I don't want to talk to girls. And that's actually a very good thing. I don't want to is going to be the very last barrier of resistance. Usually it's, I don't have time, or no, she's too pretty and she's going to reject me, or she's not my type, or she's probably going to, be super mean to me if I talk to her. Usually those are all the excuses that you're going to come up with before the final excuse is, I just don't want to, right? You get over that excuse, and this isn't like an actual like hormonal thing where your testosterone is actually at an appropriate level and all that stuff, and you've been checked out by the doctor. Well, then, yeah, you actually just have anxiety, and it's not a motivation problem. It is still just a fear and you're using motivation as an excuse to not experience that anxiety. All right. Now, very quickly, guys, if you want to land your first date in the next 30 days, click the link in the description below. The link is going to take you to an online community filled with other single men who are focused on improving their dating skills. It's completely free, and you can swap notes, you can get feedback, you can maybe even find a wingman in your area. Inside, you're going to find a 30-day challenge, which is going to go over all the steps you need to take in order to land your first date in the next 30 days. All right. Getting back to the topic of the video, if you need to understand, okay, all of evolution for the last however many billion years, right, it's driving you to naturally have sex with women. Like you have the innate ability to turn a woman on and be able to have sex with her. All right. You are not the one human that was born that just doesn't have that power. You're not like a malfunction. You're not disformed. None of that is true. All right. But what is true is that if you are masturbating constantly, or even just at all, instead of pursuing women, well then, yeah, it makes sense that you don't have any motivation to talk to girls. All right. And that's not to say that a healthy man never masturbates, or even that he never watches porn. But when you choose to do those things instead of having sex with a woman when it is available, or instead of developing the skill to have sex with a woman, well then, yeah, that's a little bit problematic. And that really just boils down to you need to make a change in your habits and in your lifestyle. All right. I guarantee you, if you were to do even just a week of no porn and no masturbation, like if you just made it a rule for yourself that you're only allowed to come inside of a woman or on a woman, right? You're going to find that by day 3 or day 4, you're like itching to get outside the house and go talk to a girl. And maybe you're not the best at it, right? Maybe you still feel a little bit weird or creepy. And when you do approach the girl, she just looks at you weird and you get blown out of your set. You're still going to feel fucking great for going out there and actually opening your mouth and getting a response, right? It's going to be exhilarating. You're going to feel the motivation. You just have to stop like supplementing your natural drive for sex with this unnatural thing. It's complicated. It's even weird to say that it's unnatural, right? Because I guess we could have an entire discussion about that, but you need to understand, at the end of the day, we can attach whatever terms or labels or even personality traits to the behavior, but it is just a behavior. And if you want to change how you feel towards women, to be motivated to have more sex with them, to get outside the house, to get over your approach anxiety, you just need to change your behaviors. All right. You don't need to have this deep introspective look at yourself. You don't need to, go talk to your parents about what's wrong with you or anything like that. It is very simple. Stop doing X and you will suddenly start to want to do Y. Okay? A lot of things in life work like that. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video right here. I'm rambling just a little bit and I want to keep this nice and short and clean. End of the day, if you get nothing else from this video, stop watching porn so much. Allow yourself to get a little bit horny, right? And then you're going to find it's not too difficult to be motivated to talk to women. All right. Now, one more time, guys, if you're looking to land your first date within the next 30 days, check the link in the description below. You'll find a community. Other men are swapping notes. They're helping each other out. And you're also going to find a 30-day challenge. It's going to walk you through all the little tweaks that you need to make in your lifestyle so that you can land your first date. Besides that, like, comment, subscribe, share this with a friend, and I'll see you guys in the next one.